Let's now get some live reaction to the breaking news that the Attorney General Jeff Sessions has fired the former Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe. Let's bring in Katrina Pierson, a senior advisor to Donald Trump's 2020 re-election campaign. They're already up and running. Good evening, Katrina.
Good evening, Ed. Thank you.
I wonder, what is your reaction to this breaking on Friday night?
Well, you know, Ed, I think that this is the beginning of what I believe is to come. Once the Inspector General report comes out, I think we're going to find that it wasn't just Andrew McCabe that did things inappropriately. We have to remember he was just number 2. So I think there are a lot of people who are worried about what is to come from this report and what Mr. McCabe is going to say about others' involvement in some of these cases. As we heard in the reporting earlier, this is an individual that was involved in several cases, particularly with regards to Hillary Clinton. And moving forward, we're still having investigations on FISA abuse, on unmasking, a lot of things that occurred in the previous administration that seems to have done some pretty good damage to some private citizens' constitutional rights. And these things need to be justified if we're going to make sure that people can trust these agencies again.
Katrina, when you mention other officials, we'll go through a lot of them, including James Comey in a moment. But I was struck by something in Andrew McCabe's statement tonight. We haven't heard from him largely because he's had to keep quiet during this investigation largely. But he's claiming tonight that he wanted to continue the Clinton investigation, but that unnamed people at the DOJ, the Justice Department, wanted to shut it down. Now, could that be Loretta Lynch, the former Attorney General under President Obama? Could that be Bruce Orr, who's also been under scrutiny? So my question for you is, what is the view of the Trump campaign tonight about how vast this investigation should be and whether other players may soon be taken down?
Well, the Trump campaign itself is not weighing in on this, as there are still more details to surface. But what I can tell you as someone that has been intimately involved in a lot of these news cycles, particularly being on the previous campaign and watching many of my colleagues struggle and suffer throughout these atrocities committed by their own government against them, this ridiculous witch hunt that was triggered by many of these individuals that we're talking about today to silently overthrow the sitting president of the United States. I think it is time to get serious. There absolutely should be a second special counsel. We have to keep reminding people that the only reason we have this counsel is because fired FBI Director Comey leaked to the media and wanted to pursue this. And those running that counsel are absolutely all compromised, in my opinion, because of the relationships that they have with many of these individuals.
Katrina, those are strong words. You just said that Andrew McCabe was part of a group that was essentially, if I heard you right, trying to overthrow the president of the United States, overthrow the free and fair election of a new president. Are you referring in particular to McCabe, James Comey, and others at the FBI and the Justice Department being involved, for example, in that FISA application we've all now heard about, October 2016, to surveil Carter Page, as you know, a former Trump advisor, and they never disclosed to the FISA judge that, in fact, the dossier, the unverified information about the president, was paid for by the DNC and the Clinton campaign?
Absolutely. I'm speaking of all of those things, including the text messages that we've recently seen between Strzok and Page regarding setting up a meeting secretly to talk to this FISA judge. I mean, you cannot make this up, Ed. When you have these text messages going around among those individuals within the FBI and those who participated in the DOJ, like Bruce Orr and his wife working for Fusion GPS, all of the dots are there. There needs to be a second special counsel to connect them. And this entire Russia collusion story was to hide all of this evidence that we have now showing that there were people working in the Obama administration, to stop President Trump from being president. And that is a problem, not just for me, but for many Americans. There are millions of Americans who rightly elected Donald Trump as president of the United States, and their tax dollars are going to people who have been effectively working against him, except for Andrew McCabe as of tonight.
Okay, Katrina, I've let you launch some of those charges. Now, I want to press you on a couple quick points, and we're going to get to a lot of other guests as this breaks. We're going to be live all through the hour and beyond midnight Eastern time tonight. I want to ask you about Andrew McCabe's claim. This is the first time we've heard him claim that he believes what's been going on is a witch hunt against his wife, his family, led by the President of the United States. He says the tweets attacking him, here it is, this attack on my credibility is one part of a larger effort, not just to slander me personally, but to taint hate the FBI, law enforcement, and intelligence professionals more generally. And he goes on to say in this statement, it is part of this administration's ongoing war on the FBI and the efforts of the special counsel investigation, which continue to this day. Their persistence in this campaign only highlight the importance of the special counsel's work. Two questions. One, how do you react as an advisor to the Trump re-election campaign to the notion that the president has been improperly attacking Andrew McCabe and trying to muddy the waters so that he doesn't have credibility as a witness in the Mueller probe?
Well, President Trump wasn't advising Andrew McCabe when he gave his testimony, which an office of his peers said that he lacked candor, and the president was nowhere near that. But the reporting has come out. The evidence has been displayed. Thank God for the House Intelligence Committee unlocking a lot of the keys to this missing piece of the puzzle so that we can see what has been happening in the FBI and the DOJ. It has nothing to do with the president. The president is right to talk about his critics, to look from a distance and say what we've all been saying. There is something wrong over in the FBI and the DOJ with regards to the Trump campaign and the attack that they have assaulted on those individuals and even private citizens that have been wrapped up in misusing their power.
Katrina, last question. Even if everything you just said is right, and even if justice has been brought because, as you say, Andrew McCabe should be taken out of his job and not get his pension, has the Trump administration tonight won an enemy in Andrew McCabe, who now likely is a witness in the Mueller probe and has been pushed out the door in such a way he's going to be pretty angry when he sits down with those special counsel investigators?
I don't think that the president has gained any new enemies at this point, but I do think the American people can have a sigh of relief. It has been a very long time, Ed, since you've seen a government official at this level held accountable for anything. So I really hope this is one of the first to come of many that we've all known for a very long time that have been compromised and or are corrupt. And I think now is the time where we can get the FBI and the DOJ cleaned out so the public can have trust in their investigating agencies again.